Hi, my name is Lisanne Edelman. I'm one of the attorneys at the Don Turner legal team, and I'd like to give you some useful information about what to do if you're ever pulled over for suspicion of driving under the influence. This is going to be formatted in a do's and don'ts situation, so I'm going to start with the do's. You should always know your limit, and if you've reached it or if it's a question, the first piece of advice I can give you is to call an Uber or a Lyft or a friend or a family member to come get you. Always keep receipts of your bar tabs. Every bar that you go to that night, make sure that you have record of what you've purchased and what you've had to consume. Make sure that you always have your driver's license handy, your proof of registration, and a copy of your insurance card. Once you are pulled over, that is the first question that the police officer will ask you, and you want to make sure that you have it handy and ready to give to him. Once you see that the officer has initiated a traffic stop, make sure that you pull over quickly and safely. Always be polite and be respectful, but also make sure to exercise your right to remain silent. Do not answer any questions other than what your name is. Don't say where you're coming from. The police officer will likely ask you what you've had to drink that evening. Make sure that you tell them that you have an attorney that you'd like to contact before answering any additional questions. Now I'm going to move on to the things not to do. Never exit the vehicle when a traffic stop is initiated unless the officer specifically directs you to do so once he has made contact with you. Once you've stepped out of the car, do not lean against the car and do not answer any questions about where you've been that night or what you've had to drink. Never agree to perform any field sobriety tests, such as the one-leg stand, the walk and turn. The police officer will ask you to look into a flashlight as he moves it from left to right in front of your face. These tests are completely voluntary. Also, never blow into a handheld alcosensor unit. This is what an alcosensor unit looks like, and it's commonly incorrectly referred to as a breathalyzer. This is a handheld unit that police officers use on the side of the road, and it only tests for the presence of alcohol. It does not actually give a reading of how much alcohol is in your blood, and it's not admissible in court. This test is also completely voluntary. Georgia law requires drivers to submit to a chemical test on the penalty of a 1-year license suspension. Those chemical tests will be in the form of a breath, blood, or urine sample. The most commonly requested test is a breath test, which is done on the intoxilizer at the police station. That is what's commonly referred to as the breathalyzer. If you refuse to submit to a test, and the test asked for is a breath test, it will be listed as a DUI refusal. If a blood test is what's asked for and you refuse to submit to a blood test, the police officer may get a warrant from a judge to draw your blood. This is becoming an increasingly more common practice and is heavily litigated in Georgia. Some extreme facts may make it advantageous to refuse testing, such as the death or severe injury in an accident, extreme intoxication, or numerous driving under the influence convictions. In the absence of such circumstances, however, it is generally advisable to submit to the chemical test that the officer has requested. But remember, you have the right to a test of your choice and at your own expense, separate from the test that the officer is requesting from you. Upon your arrest for driving under the influence, the police officer may also issue what's called a 1205 form. This means that your license has been taken by that officer, and in exchange, he gives you most likely a yellow piece of paper. What that means is that the officer has filed a petition to have your driver's license suspended within 45 days from that arrest. This is a petition that can be challenged, so it is important that you speak to an attorney as soon as possible following your arrest because there is a deadline. You will have 30 days to file to challenge that petition or your license will be suspended. If you find yourself in this situation, the Don Turner legal team can help you. We are extremely experienced in defending those who have been accused of driving under the influence, so give us a call.